Hello, everyone. So, in this one, we will go ahead and open our first project and learn about how we annotate the data set, right? Uh, so, I'm going to click the data set, open up the first point cloud that I see. By the way, uh, the data set that I just clicked onto has an extension called PCD, right? This PCD stands for point cloud data, and these are all different point cloud data that you see on the right side. Okay. Now I'm going to enter a full screen view here just to keep things clear for you. And that's the whole project window. On the left side, you see four different windows here. This one, I call it the main window or main viewer. And this basically allows you to control and hover over the point cloud in every possible way. You can zoom in, zoom out, pan around. Okay, and you can go over and look at different objects that you see in the view. And this for this view, I'm currently using my mouse. So um, this is a main viewer, and then we have three different other views at the bottom. This one is a top view, and it only allows you to view the point cloud from the top. The other one is a side view of that same main viewer. Okay, and then there is a front view, which is from this view. And they basically help you while annotation. We'll see how. Um, Now, Supervisely also provide you key control, so you can use your keyboards if you don't have a mouse, but it gets a bit tougher if you don't have a mouse. So, however, you can still use this keyboard. So the arrow keys basically let you rotate the point cloud in those two directions. W and S takes you forward or backward like that, and Q or E takes you up or down. So Q and E like that. Okay. And then this using all these control Q, W, E, A, S, T, and the arrow keys, you can actually go over the entire point cloud just like with the mouse once you get used to it. Okay. So for instance, I can look at those objects in the view. Now on the right side, I have two different views. One is objects. All your objects that you annotate appear over here. And at the bottom, you have all your point clouds. So you can click any of those and that will be loaded in the viewer. And then you have different pages. If you have many point clouds, you can just click on either and go over them. So let's go over that one. Yeah. So notice this point cloud doesn't have any sequence. They are all different point clouds recorded at different point in time. So they're not related to each other. But in the next section, we will see how related point clouds are annotated. So in this one, you see this big black blob at the center, which is left out, and there are no points in that. This is basically our ego car, the car that is recording this data, right? The lidar is mounted on top of it. So the objects that are closer are dense, and if you go farther, the point cloud is sparse, as you can see, right? And the objects that are close to the car are dense. And this blob will appear in all the point clouds that you will annotate. Let's go to the next page. This one. This one has quite a lot of things going around and has a lot of objects. It's probably some intersection. I see a bus. I see a few cars. I even see pedestrians moving around. Um, so this is a rich point cloud. There will be a lot of objects to be annotated on this. Now we'll see the settings tab. There are a few options. This is for the annotated objects, figures. And at the bottom, there are some settings around point cloud. Okay. Um, so this particular one basically controls the size of the points. So if I make it 2, you see the points are now a bit brighter and because they just became bigger. Um, I'll just go back to point size 1 because it's a lot of points and I can easily get distracted while annotating. So I'll only use it when necessary for, very small objects. There is a color that you can control, um, and a lot of other features. On the right side, you see there are four different options. The first one is to pan and zoom. The second one is to select an annotated object. The third one is for selecting a cuboid. And the fourth one we'll see in the future. So for instance, I'll just select this car, this particular one, okay? And I see where it is headed. I'll just click on the cuboid, or you can just click 3 on your keyboard. And I'm going to make sure that the right class is selected. Zoom out in the top view. Orient the front handle towards the front of the car, okay? Like that. Yeah, that one should be front. And then I'm going to grab the rectangular handles and make sure the car is entirely within that box. Now this top view, make sure that from the top it's covered. However, from the side and the front view, you see it's not entirely covered yet. So what I'm going to do is grab it all the way to the bottom and make sure every point from the car is enclosed. And you can hover on the main window and see if all the points are within that cuboid. Okay. Looks like we have all the points within the cuboid. Great. So I'm going to deselect this object by hitting escape a couple of times. You can either do that or just use these handles on the side. And um, this object is annotated and you can see its ID being shown there, 389. And that ID belongs to this particular card now. Now I can click cuboid again, try to annotate this other object, okay? And you'll see that it appears as a second card. So I'm going to make sure I select that cuboid again, zoom out in the main viewer and on the top viewer, make sure the front handle is oriented towards the front of the card, zoom out a bit and enclose the top view. And similarly, I'll just make sure that it's nicely covered. And then from the side view, I can just grab and bring it to the bottom, make sure on the front it's nicely oriented and tight. That's great. So now you can look in the main viewer and see that the all the point clouds that belong to that car are enclosed. And this class is correctly selected. It has been assigned another ID. You can just see from all views whether the car is enclosed. Okay. So you can also hide the cuboid like so and also control its opacity like that from the settings. Um, Now, both of these objects are assigned different IDs, as I said, and you can just look around. There are many different objects that I'll leave for you to try on, and all of these objects need to be annotated, right? You will see cars, you may see pedestrians, trucks, cyclists, and so on. And similarly, you will go to another point cloud and do the same thing. So I'm just going to try to find some different objects, many pedestrians. Yeah, I see a few people around this one. Mm. So you can just see there are a bunch of people standing around there. There's one walking around this intersection, right? I'm going to try to annotate this guy. So you can just go to the top view so that you can just place your cuboid right on top. Make sure the correct class is selected, pedestrian. Click right on top. Go to the top view. Try to enclose this rectangle on top of this person point cloud, like so. And then go to the side view. That gives a very nice view actually. You can just grab it all the way to the bottom. And um, on the front view, we can see some of the points, but I think we got them all. So you can just go to the main viewer, zoom in, and make sure all the points are enclosed from different views. And similarly, the IDB is being assigned to this one. You can go ahead and hit escape or number one on your keyboard, and then start annotating these other people around the scene over here. So that's it for this one. Uh, we will cover more advanced and another work on another point cloud in the next one. See you then.